Eve has gotten progressively more boring as a character the longer she's been with Mark. And part of that is probably because so much of her identity has been written to revolve around him. That's not new. That's a pretty common problem with romance and superhero media. But I think the bigger issue is something much more subtle and honestly more frustrating. A lack of interest, or rather a lack of real interest in female characters. That sounds simple enough that we could end the video here, but think about it. How many times do we see female characters who are supposedly incredibly powerful, almost too powerful, and yet nothing is really done with them? Eve is a literal reality warper. Her powers are some of the most visually interesting in the show. She can manipulate matter, heal herself from near death. She should be one of the most compelling characters to watch. And yet she isn't, because the writers don't seem to know what to do with her. And I don't think that's just about her being quote-unquote overpowered. I think it's about a broader pattern. A lot of writers, particularly a lot of male writers and creators, don't know what to do with powerful female characters. That's definitely not new or some hot take. But perhaps it's more accurate to say that many of these writers and creators don't prioritize figuring it out. Even Kirkman has said, Adam Eve's powers exceed my capabilities as a writer. Okay, and?
So?
No, I'm saying
what now?
It's not.
What happens after you admitted that her powers exceed your ability as a writer? Clearly nothing. Her character doesn't evolve in meaningful ways. It almost feels like after her 1 hour special, she just stalls. Meanwhile, Mark being boring actually serves a purpose. He's the blank canvas protagonist, the passive, relatable lead that audiences can project onto. Him being lackluster is a common tried and true method used for protagonists in general. It works. But Eve, she's not supposed to be a blank canvas. She's supposed to be dynamic, complicated, powerful, and instead, she gets reduced to Mark's girlfriend. Because Invincible has mass appeal, it's easy to forget that this show is for the boys. And when media is built with that assumption, female characters don't need to be interesting.
Curvy? A little more curvy?
Okay, that's curvy enough for you, young man.
That's it. She's perfect. Oh, thank you, Aphrodite.
Okay. Aren't you forgetting something?
Dance, me, beautiful date. The corsage!
Hello? Her personality?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Just make her, crazy about me.
Oh, okay, so beautiful and crazy about you. Good. Digging deep, huh?
Let's look at the pattern. Amber is gone, and we could say that her relevance has run its course because she's not dating Mark anymore, but I think that would be proving my point, especially as Amber and Mark are still friends. Plus, she already fell victim to the disposable black love interest trope. Monster Girl, stuck in another dimension, albeit with Robot, but between Robot and Monster Girl, I think it's safe to say Robot is probably fleshed out more. Robot has had dedicated screen time for his arc in ways that we haven't seen for Monster Girl. The Viltrumite women, they are barely present and barely distinct. I mean, look at Eve. Eve is a main character and fades into the background. And the most frustrating part is that it doesn't feel intentional, it feels quite familiar, actually. Like, if you were to ask me right now to name prominent women in sports, I could say Serena Williams, and then I'd probably start struggling. But if you asked me to name male athletes, Lionel Messi, Stephen Curry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, I could keep going. And I don't even watch sports. That's not because I think men's sports are more important. If anything, I think women's sports deserve more funding and more attention. But the reality is, I've just been exposed to male athletes more. In my social circles, sports conversations center men. So even without trying to, even without believing it, I end up knowing more about the men. And I think something similar is happening here. It's not that the writers sat down and said, let's make Eve less interesting. It's that, consciously or not, they seem more invested in the male characters. They spend more time with them, they explore them more, they care more about their arcs, and over time, that imbalance shows. And that's what makes this kind of sexism so insidious. It's not loud, it's not obvious, it shows up as less screen time, less development, less curiosity. It's the quiet assumption that these characters don't need as much attention. And at what cost? We lose characters who could be incredible. We lose stories that could be far more compelling. And we reinforce the idea over and over again that even when women are powerful, they are still secondary.